And welcome back, students, to another lesson of CSS. Today we're going to be talking about borders. We've done that so far with tables, but the only thing we've really done with borders so far has been to kind of increase the pixel thickness, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, whatever. However, with CSS, we can not only specify the style, we can also do the size and the color of a border. Furthermore, borders are not limited to tables. We can use them to kind of sort of box in or border an HTML element, such as the paragraph tag, which we will look at here today. And in the PDF, I'm going to have a visual representation of the different styles. So let me just start off here by mentioning right here we have these things called classes here, which are going to control the CSS that we're going to be using today. So to do it, I just say like what our element it is, in this case P for paragraph, and then I just add class equals, and then whatever the name of my element is. In this case, it's 1. And this one is 2. So we're going to have two different CSS styles we're going to look at simultaneously. So once you've created those HTML elements in your CSS code, we're going to add in those elements. So I'm going to just say p.1, and I'm going to say border-style, and you can of course pick one of the default ones, which is just I'm going to say solid, and then I'm going to say border -width, and you can of course pick a predefined style, but I'm going to choose 5 pixels. And you can see that HTML element now has a border on it. Let me go ahead and do another one. Let's do one for paragraph 2. So p.2, and I'm going to go ahead and add in another border style here. And I'm going to do solid again. And this time, let's look at one of those predefined ones. Width, and let's look at medium. So here you can see the differences between 5 pixels and a medium. And again, this is done using classes. So in your HTML code, you make sure you code in this bit of line right here. So you know, just put P, you put P class, because that keeps it differentiated away from our normal paragraph tag, which is this right here. This is just a normal paragraph tag. But this allows us to apply a specific style to one piece of CSS code. Because I could also do this with just like P. Like if I added this into just the P tag, it would affect then everything paragraph. But if I wanted to just affect just one piece of it, in this case I just want this one paragraph to have that box, that's how I can do that. Alright, now let's look back at these borders here. And you saw a couple of different presets kind of pop up as we went through them. We saw the medium preset here with 2. We could also, of course, look at this. The other presets are thin, and then there's also thick. And you can see thick is very similar to 5 pixels. And conversely, you can also change the color of them. So I'm just going to change this back here quick to medium. And let's look at a couple of these other ones here. I'm going to come in here and add in things like border color. Because I said we can change the color as well. So I'm just going to add in border color of red, and you can see that it changes that border color to red. Pretty self-explanatory. Of course, you can also do hex code or RGB values here. So I'm going to do a border color again, and this time I'm going to use a hex code. You can see it has applied that hex code color. Again, both paragraph tags are employing a solid style. And the first one is going to apply a solid border of 5 pixels. It's called red. The second one is applying a solid border of medium width with a hex code color, which is sort of a green here. Now, if we wanted to change this, is that we can easily change these styles. So like I can come here and say instead of solid, maybe I want this to be like a dotted. I can come and easily do that. But let's say I want these elements to be bordering other elements. You can come in and change the styles for the different pieces. So I'm just going to go in here into my paragraph here. I'm going to manipulate this one. And I'm going to add this in. I'm going to do a border style. But this time I'm going to do a top style. And I'm going to make that one to be dotted. I'm going to be doing then a border right style. and I'm going to make that one solid. And you can see as I'm adding these in here, it's changing the paragraph text right here. Border bottom style. And I'm going to make that one dotted. And then I'll do the last one, border dash left style. And make that one solid again. And so you can see here's the box around that HTML element. So you can see that with borders, you don't have to have it be the same on all four sides. You can apply a unique style to each side. And in the example, we had the dotted sides on the top and bottom, and then we had solids on the right and the left. Now, we can, of course, combine stuff down in order to kind of condense stuff a little bit. We can use what's kind of known as grouping in order to kind of shortcut some stuff. So let me just show you those shortcuts here in order to look at the different things. And with this one right here, we did all these individual sides, which is still fine to do, but let me just go ahead and show you something here. I'll just go back to border style. And I'm going to do dotted and solid. Right. And that will achieve the same thing. It's going to use the dotted to do the left, right, or the top and bottom, because it always kind of goes to the top and then works its way around clockwise. So it will do dotted, solid, till it has 4 elements. So it's kind of a shortcut that you can use. Similarly, there's other shortcuts that we can do. Let me just show them to you. We can do dotted, solid, double, and then dashed. That will, of course, apply a dotted border along the top. You'll have a solid border here, and then it's going to a double dashed here, and then it's saying, well, what's the next one? It's going to go back and look at that first one, which was dotted. There's also going to be dotted, solid, double, which is this one right here, so it just changes it slightly. We also have just a dotted solid, which we've already seen. And of course, if I just did, for example, dotted, you could do that way. And of course, you can exchange out any of those different styles for each other. So you could exchange out in any of those examples, dotted for solid, solid for dotted, double, dashed, any of those you can exchange out. Now, there is one more shortcut I should talk about, which is shorthanding, which if we're applying 2 different elements, so for example, P1 dot P2, the shortcut will not work. So let me just take a look here in this paragraph tag here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. So instead of border style, I'm just going to put border. And I'm going to define what that border is. So I'm going to say 5 pixels. I'm going to say that it's solid and spread. And what that does is it combines everything in. So if you remember here, we put each of these in one line, solid, 5 pixels red. I've done the same exact thing now, but I put it all on one line of code. Right? And that's how you can manipulate all those codes in one line. So this, to me, if you do it this way, this is kind of a little nicer. I mean, this is great if you want to break it down in case it's like, hey, I want to change one thing or I need to remember what those individual elements do. But if you're a person who's like, well, I'm all about efficiency and want to condense down my code, I can go ahead, of course, and do it this way. Both ways are acceptable practice. It just comes down to how do you want to make that CSS file. All right, and that concludes this lesson, folks. So until next time.